Hello guys, my name is Hel Berdevs. Today's topic will be the login of my um, normal or basic application made in Python from scratch to the presentation of this project. In the last video I show you or I present to you was about the connection to the MySQL server. In that video we can differ from all the explanation how we can connect to a MySQL to a server located probably in a Linux operation system, and besides that we differ or we understand how we can interpret all the strings and all the things related to it, the IP addresses, the connections. How does this environment work? What is a cursor? What is the importance to close a cursor after a connection is done in order to maintain the data safe? What is the importance of the definition that in it and the definition to connect to the server? Well, in this case, basically this was already explained. Today's topic will be the login of our system. In order to do so, I will explain you how we made this project. This project was made in Tkinter, basically with Customtkinter. That is the repository from the same, how we can call it, libraries as Tkinter, but this is more appropriated for complex contexts, and this works best if you want to have how we can call it, a friendly user environment. I already know that it is 6 TTK Bootstrap. Probably in the next video will show you how to implement this, and besides that how to make your projects made in Customtkinter look much more complex or much more elaborated or developed than before. This is a sample. This is not related to any company. Basically, here I will explain you the libraries we use. Customtkinter. Below this is a library used to import images and show the images to the user. Also, this model to use the normal things about our system. That in this case is Windows 10. The hashlib, this is for safe passwords, because this encodes all the password and converts this password to SHA-256. This is another two modules, and I will explain later on. This is a library used to data entries. In this specific module we don't use this, but I just left there because back in the day when I began this project I used to use literally or I implement this library. We have this module that is from to manage errors in the system. Well, the Tkinter message box to show how things works and the communication. So this is a sample, as I showed you before. This is not in a real context. For safety processes, I didn't put the real IP address and anything related to that, but this is not related to anything. This is just a sample in order for me to explain this code. So here we have basically our login. I will show you how this prompts to the first user. So basically we are here. We have the option to see some labels, some entries to user and a password. We have a button here to log in into the platform. Also, we have here another entry. This is related to change your IP address in order you don't have the correct IP addresses, the correct IP address. This was made in order not to depend on the developers to change this manually or to change this month to month, because well, in case the company don't want to hire a specific channel or a specific IP address for them not to change the IP address anymore. For example, Google uses this one and it never changes, but in a real life example, you may need to change your public IP address monthly, or even yearly, but it depends on the provider. So basically, we are able to see here how this works. In this case, this will prompt an error because I'm not connected to a server, but it works. I will show you that it works. It logins, it tries to connect to any server. It is not possible to connect to the database. It shows you an error. In this case, I will show you that this is the normal thing that is going to happen. But basically, we are here, so we get login. We have password. We get this from these two entries. After all of this, we validate if this is correct or this is in our database. And where I'm gonna go here, this is basically this or unencode the password in order to know the code and to see if it is the same that is allocated in the database. After all of this, it tries to connect to the database with the self.com.connect or .connectar in Spanish. Will prompt a cursor, and after all of this, it will select all from the we can call this user table, where user and password it is in this case we put here the user and the hash password. That is the hash password is the password but encoded in order to see if the codes are the same. We validate if this is correct, and if so, after all of this, we fetch all for example, we fetch whatever we get and we close the cursor. If this is correct, this first statement of try, we're gonna get a welcome message in our system, and it will prompt the same as this but with a welcome message. After this, we validate and we return true. If this is not the case, we can, for example, user table 2. This is another user for not main users. This is for users that are not able to change data or update any information in the database. Basically, it will make the same. It will try to find this password and user in the database in order to see if it is the same we have put in the entries. There is two message here, an exception, and well, after all of this, we have the option to change the IP address if it is the case. Only for the user to connect and to see data, we are able to change the address. This was made because in the example, the company was not able to hire another developer for the next month, so the developer had to make a solution for the company not to hire another developer and use the same like we can say the same repositories, libraries and IP addresses, because no one there was able to change this in the code. When this is already compiled, you are not able to change anything. So basically, after all of this, we have our login. It works perfectly. And well, we have the last statement, that is if name main app login, that this is the class we are using in our example. This is the class we are using in our example, and we have app menu, that this will basically prompt the user interface for the final use. Basically, that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed and you find this video helpful. I would like to see your comments and below, in order for me to improve my explanations, in order for me to improve my own code. And if you want this code to be shared in every repository allocated in GitHub, just let me know in the comments, and I will try to reach to you in order to share the code. Basically, you also have the code here, and well, I hope you subscribe and you support the channel.